turn over this. Hello everyone, I'm Annie Grabenschmidt. So in the fall of 2015, I just graduated. My college roommate and I decided to plan a trip to Jackson Hole. We were going to ski for the week. It was going to be a nice early December trip. And it was in the spirit of feeling energetic and fun and having friends that I decided to have an ultimatum with my long-distance girlfriend. And we'd been together for 2 years, and I loved her with my whole heart. And we kind of had this, like, we came together against all odds thing. We were each other's first girlfriends, so it was like a very deep, intimate connection. But I was starting to feel or notice for the first time that I was kind of the last priority for her. So she was a varsity athlete, she got straight A's, she was studying for the LSAT, and then in all of her free time, she spent all of her time with her family and teammates, and so I was starting to feel a little neglected. So I texted her all this one day, and she responded and said, you know, you're right. And I was like, okay. And then she said, that's not going to change. And I said, oh. So I said, it sounds like maybe we need different things then. And she just sent back a colon and a slash. So that's a slanty face for you. And I just thought, oh, is that how this is going to end? And it did. So instead of going to Jackson Hole with some enthusiasm, I went with my mom. Because since Laura and I broke up, I could not sleep alone. So I needed my mom to come with me. She drove me up to Wyoming, and we arrived, and everything is just so beautiful. I hate it because I just keep thinking, like, oh, look at that snow twinkle, like, Lauren would love that. And then, you know, I'm sitting by the fire, and I'm drinking hot chocolate, and I think Lauren would love to stay warm, and all of these things. And Leah and my mom are just trying their best to keep me going and like, keep me within high spirits. And it is hard work. So I have no appetite, I can't taste anything, so I'll be at lunch, and I'm eating my elk chili, and I maybe bring the spoon to my mouth, but also, like, why bother? Because I can't taste anything, so, like, whatever. And we're at dinner one night, and we're at a place called Cafe Genevieve, and my mom looks over my shoulder, and she's like, Annie, don't look now, but the hostess just kissed another girl. And of course, I turn around, and I'm like, yes, sure enough, there's 2 people who are about my age, and they just kissed and parted ways for the evening. My mom was trying to tell me, like, look, there's gay people in the world. And I was like, great, like, the only 2 gay people in Wyoming have found each other. And I had this real complex, like, I was never going to meet another gay person in my life, which is totally natural for someone who grew up in San Francisco. But we had such a special connection that I just assumed that this was my one shot, and it's gone now. And so I just was really having a hard time that week. Poor Leo was just like, what a shitty vacation for her. But every night I would creep out of her room and crawl into my mom's bed with her and just cry and sob. And my poor mom was just so tired because she's been doing this for like 3 weeks straight. And I'm starting to get a little nervous about my mental health because I've been so depressed for so many days in a row. And I was trying to go in there and say maybe like, trying to tell her that maybe we should all start worrying a little, and like maybe I need some professional help. And so I'm in the process of telling her that I've lost my will to live, basically, and she's crying because that's hard to hear. And I go, Mom, like, I'm a bum. And she just burst out laughing. She goes, I'm a bum. I'm a bum! And just is like shaking with laughter and crying at the same time. But kind of just brought me back to like the moment, and having that nice little laugh was like a good moment of levity during the trip. And so things like that kind of like kept me afloat. Every morning she would say, Annie, can you tell me like one thing you're grateful for today? And so every day I said the same thing. I was grateful for Waffles. Waffles is a dog, and Waffles, we brought Waffles with us. It was formerly my sister's breakup Pomeranian, and so I volunteered to get out of bed in the morning and take Waffles out for walks, and so he played in the snow. So every morning I would say, I'm grateful for Waffles. And little did I know that this was just the beginning of the breakup process. Anyone who's had heartbreak in the room knows that it kind of maps a little bit like grief, where you, I guess on this side, start on the downward spiral, you hit rock bottom, and then eventually maybe you like have a good day. So I didn't realize that I was actually on the downward portion of this. And I, after that week, I didn't go back to work, because why? And instead stayed with my family in Idaho. They were there for the month. I have 2 parents. And not that I have 3, but I was in Idaho with my parents for the month. And so it just got worse and worse, and I was still so sad. And so my best friend from high school calls me and says, I'm going to come up. I'm going to fly to Idaho. We're going to drive around the Mountain West. We're going to hit all the ski slopes we can. get this pass that gets us 2 free days, and we're just gonna tour around. And she had just graduated, and I thought, great, like, I can't do that without my mom. So mom is like, you gotta go, because she's exhausted, has been sleeping with me every night, so she's dying to get me to go on this trip, and which she also thinks it's gonna be good for me. But so we start, Caitlin flies up, we make our first stop, and our first stop is in Jackson Hole, because it's 4 hours from where my parents are in Idaho. And it is there on my first night there at a Jackson Hole Moose hockey game that I finally hit rock bottom. Because I have done something I haven't done in the breakup yet, which is I am begging for Lauren to take me back. And so I'm just texting her being like, please, please, please. And she's just like, she's never been ambivalent about the thing, so she's like, no. No, I don't want to date you very clearly, which is good because I needed to have some firm response to that. And I said, okay, I'm not going to ask you again. And I knew that night that was the last time I was going to speak to her. And so I went home, we went back to our hotel room, $40 a night roadside motel called the Antler Inn, and I am in my bed sobbing. Caitlin sleeps through the whole thing. I call my mom twice. I play like a Netflix sitcom in the background so I can have that laugh track going, and I'm just trying to focus on my breath because I just need to get through the night. But it feels like the earth is crashing in on me and my lungs. I'm just like, I can't breathe properly, and I think, I can't do another night of this. Like, this is too hard. The next morning, I make it through. The next morning, I think, I'm just going to go through the motions. I'm going to follow Caitlin around. I'm just going to do what she does. And if I just keep doing that every day, like, I'm going to be okay. And so I do that. And we're at the bus stop. We're waiting for the bus to take us to the bottom of the hill. And a car pulls up. And the person driving says, hey, you guys want to ride? If we all go together, we can park for free at the bottom of the hill. So we pile in. As soon as I get in the car, I realize that the girl driving the car is the girl that kissed the hostess at Cafe Genevieve. And the girl in the passenger seat is not the hostess at Cafe Genevieve. And so I'm intrigued already. And there's more of you. But I didn't think that, but I was intrigued. And so we were in there, we're all talking about we graduated from college and how we're just kind of lost, and we all love mountain sports, and so it's just like a nice, like I was trying to open myself up to meeting new people, and we get out of the car, and she says, hey, do you like waffles? This is just talking about the food. And I was like, yes, I love waffles. And she said, give me your number, and I'll text you later today, and we can meet for waffles at the top of the hill. And I think, we'll meet for waffles at the top of the hill, and I think, this is crazy. I look at Caitlin, and I'm like, this girl's way too hot for me, and I haven't slept for 2 months, so my dark circles are like down to my chin, and I'm just like the worst version of myself. But she asks for a number, and she gets my number. She does not text me. But I didn't need her to text me. What I needed was to have a little hope in the world, and she clearly must have been going through something with her girlfriend at Cafe Genevieve, because otherwise she wouldn't be asking for my number. And so I just think, like, okay, like, this is going to be okay. And from that point on, I was on the up and up, and I just kept track, like, 1 week since talking to Lauren, 2 weeks since talking to Lauren, and then eventually I just lost track of the weeks, and I stopped counting. Caitlin and I moved into San Francisco, and I had one of the best springs ever, and I'll always remember that the universe was taking care of me, that at the darkest moment, the next day, the universe gave me something to hold on to. And the universe confirmed something I've always suspected to be true, which is that waffles will save us all.